My mood absolutely switched. I went from happy, ecstatic to just... Hey guys, before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's liked, commented and subscribed, and an even bigger thank you to anyone who's shared or promoted my channel on their story on Instagram or on Snapchat. I'm sure you guys remember how in my introductory video I mentioned I'm going to be giving advice on things that I've learned, but I understand I can't just start throwing advice here and there and you guys can turn around and be like,
who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
So I'm going to kick this channel off with a little bit of a recap of my high school experience, as well as going through my GCSE results. Don't get on to me in the comments that, why are you saying it's high school, it's actually secondary school. No, the secondary school I went to actually had high school in its name, so I'm going to refer to it as high school. Year 9 and 11 are the only years, well, the more significant years. Up until these 2 years, I'm not going to lie to you, high school is a joke. It's not serious and it really doesn't matter if you try or not. As long as you looked like you were listening and your homework came in eventually, or maybe even half of your homework came in eventually, you could get by those years pretty simply. Now, year 9 is an important year because this is the year that you choose your options. Now, these are subjects which you'll sit exams on top of maths, English, literature and language, and all 3 sciences. Personally, I took PE, French, geography, and sociology, but then I got told the timetables didn't match up, so I got forced into DT. One thing I never really understood in high school was when people would throw around the term try hard or spoon just because you put effort into your work. Like, yeah bro, this is my life. Eventually, mocks rolled up midway through year 11, and I'm not gonna lie, I studied pretty hard for these, and it paid off, and it was actually really surprising to see my results. I was kind of gassed, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I revised hard for these, I did end up falling asleep in about 60% of these mock exams, because either I'd finish the paper early and then just sleep, or I'd get stuck, realise that all the questions that I couldn't do, I've just waffled, and then I'm like, okay, I waffled in all of them and just gone to sleep. Another thing I found really funny at around this point of time was when people would say, oh, I haven't revised because I want to see where I have holes in my knowledge so I know what to revise for the actual exam. That is so silly. Why wouldn't you revise and then do the mocks and see that you have a lot less holes than what you started with? Surely that's the logical way to do things. Let's quickly go through my opinions and experiences of the subjects that I took. So let's start with the ones that I found the most difficult, and that is maths. Maths I found so tough. And imagine, I sat next to the guy who was the best in maths in our year and probably the year above. And what did I learn? Nothing. But can't blame him. It's not his fault, honestly. I just found maths so tough. But big up Mr. Gartland. Mr. Gartland actually was the best math teacher that I've ever had. Next was chemistry. We've all done chemistry. We all know chemistry hardly makes any sense. Enough said. The subjects I found the easiest, biology. I don't know why, whenever I was in a biology class, information just seeped into my brain and it just stayed there. I guess that's just what I'm good at, biology definitely. And then PE or physical education is also very similar to biology, a bit more practical, and loving sport, it also came quite naturally to me. You know what, we can throw physics on the difficult pile, or actually on the pile that I just didn't enjoy. Not fun at all, especially waves and space. Yeah, that was dry. I found DT quite easy, pretty straightforward. I like being practical and I feel like I'm a little bit creative. I have good ideas, but I find it hard to actually make them physically, but DT was a good way of practicing that, and then when I made something that I quite liked, I felt really accomplished. Another one I found quite easy was geography. Geography was also quite straightforward and I quite liked it. English literature though, oh my god. Nah, I take it back, maths wasn't the hardest. English literature was. The amount of books and poems we had to memorize and the range of questions that we could have been asked, I hated it because I'm an overthinker, and so when they say, oh, you have 15 poems with like 5 themes each and any of them in any combination can be paired to be compared to each other, I'm just like, yeah, that's way too much work. I do not like this at all. They also ruined English because at first English was set. So there'd be top set, bottom set, and then there'd be people like Seamus in set 8. They changed it that now the sets were mixed ability, and I didn't like this because although I'm a little bit creative, sitting in a class of people much more creative than you for things like poetry was really cool, because you'd see them analyze a phrase or a metaphor in a really cool way, and then you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna magpie that, put it in my work, and then get a grade 9. But when you're in a mixed ability class and you feel like you're the biggest fish in the pond, it's not as fun because you don't learn as much. Although you're helping people, you kind of feel like this isn't the best use of my time. But Mr. Etchingham and Mr. Pryke were really cool, so I can't diss them for that. And lastly, French. Now, French was a coin in a sense that one side I found it quite easy because French is actually my second language now, but on the other side, the teacher put a lot of pressure on me to like excel in her class, and I didn't like this, and I found it quite annoying, honestly, because I didn't want to put in that much effort into it, to be honest. But all in all, it was alright. It was such a funny class as well. There was this boy in my class, Dan. Oh my god. And anybody in my class, Dan made the highlight of that French class. So now we got to the exam period, and I'm not gonna lie, A-levels were stress, but I feel I had a bit more stress for GCSEs. And imagine I planned to do 6 hours of revision a day. Yeah, I fell off that routine so quickly because I was in the midst of my Rocket League career. But yeah, exams rolled around and I had a normal level of anxiety going into them, but there were a few exams which I absolutely popped off in, and this would be English Literature Paper 2, the 2 hour and 15 paper. Oh my god. I felt like I went Super Saiyan 3 in that paper, as well as physics. Lastly, biology. Both of my biology paper, it was like I was in the Matrix because I was seeing through all the loopholes and the setup traps and just applying the concepts so well in abstract context. I was like, yeah, I get this. Hardest papers, GCSE PE, geography, and maths. Yeah, I didn't sleep in any of these exams. The adrenaline was all the way up. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, what did I actually get on results day? So, me and my group of friends, we were all up to the high school. A few people had been before us, but yeah, it was quite early in the morning, and we all get given our GCSE results, and a couple of my friends opened theirs first. One of my friends, all 9s, smashed it. Another one of my friend gets nothing lower than a 7, and then he gets 5 9s as well. I'm like, oh my god, he smashed it. And then I open mine and I see a 6, and my mood absolutely switched. I went from happy, ecstatic to just... Guys, I know you're enjoying the video right now, but quickly go press that like button and subscribe. Thank you. Because my goal was to get nothing lower than a 7, which is an A, and I was just crushed that I didn't achieve that. I even had my head teacher next to me saying, oh my god, Sonny, look at all of those 9s. I was like, yeah, but I got a 6. And then she was like, oh, it doesn't matter. But yeah, my mood was so down. So my results were as listed: a 9 in biology, 9 in physics, 8 in chemistry, a 9 in English literature, 6 in English language, a 9 in French, 8 in geography, 8 in PE, and a merit in DT. Later though, I found out that I was 1 mark off 9 in geography and in chemistry, and kindly my high school offered to pay to get those remarked, and chemistry came back upgraded and I got a 9. It was actually funny because at this point one of my rivals was my friend Seamus, and he had 5 9s and I had 4 9s, But when they said that they'd remark both of my papers, I was just teasing Seamus, like, imagine I'm gonna get more 9s than you, and he was definitely punching air at that possibility. Yeah, but the geography did not come back as a 9, so in the end we both tied with 5 9s, but he did get one up on me because he had no 6s and I had one. I think in hindsight there are really 2 big lessons that I can kind of take back from high school. It's one, high school's only hard because a lot of us don't have motivation for it. Like, there's no reason why you should work hard, if that makes sense. There's no real incentive. Only a few people really had that intrinsic motivation that they want to do as well as they can do to reach their potential. But I did, and I can still honestly empathize with the students who are like, I don't really see a point of putting effort into this, because working hard isn't easy. It's not fun when you can just sit and play Xbox or PlayStation for hours on end, stay on social media all night. But I think it's important that you do just listen to the people that tell you, yeah, you should try in school, because honestly you should, so you have as many doors open for you as possible and you're not limited by what you did in the past, you know. And secondly, and most importantly in my opinion, is that nobody's teaching us how to actually learn. They're literally just throwing information on a whiteboard or on a worksheet and then expecting you to note it down and just look at it and reread your notes and somehow magically understand what's on the page. Of course, some people can do that, and that's why some people are naturally just good at school and some people just aren't, because they're not teaching you how to learn, they're just expecting you to do that. And people who say they learn better through actually doing something physically, of course you do. You've been doing that since you were born. I'd be shocked if you weren't good at that. But what we don't understand is we actually have the capability to teach ourselves how to learn, so we're better at learning, not just kinesthetically. On that note, I'm definitely going to teach you guys what I've learned on methods on learning, just apart from writing down notes and rereading them, because I promise you that's actually the worst. That's the worst way. But I got you guys on that. Everybody has the potential to get where they want to be. It's just, do you have the right plan and are you putting the work in? And it's easily done, guys. You really just have to put in the effort. Just move 1% at a time. You don't have to get there in one massive jump. Consistency is definitely the way forward. Make sure you share this video with anybody in year 9, 10 or 11, especially the year 11s, because they got their GCSEs around the corner and you want them to do as best as they can.